Hey everybody, Johnny Disc Golf back with another off-season interview. This time I am joined with the most improved player of the 2021 season and newly minted Sky Team member on Discmania, Kyle Klein. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Trying to kind of just survive these winter months in Michigan. It's kind of cold and it hasn't stopped snowing for the last 3 days. So
Yeah,
yeah,
kind
don't
of
really.
cold. Kind of cold, maybe an
Sorry.
understatement. I saw one of your Instagram stories that was like 20 inches of snow on the ground. Like,
Oh
how do you
yeah,
even practice in weather like that?
you don't. You really don't. I mean, I have my little putting basket back here that I can do from maybe 25 feet.
Mhm.
That's about all I get. So
So, okay, I'm noticing that you're sitting in what looks to be a quite sizable basement. I interviewed Gavin Burr just a bit ago, and he said he has like a whole putting station set up down there. Is that something that you like do yourself?
yeah, kind of. I mean, I see if I can show you. So you can. There's a basket back there, and I can
Ah,
putt
okay,
from
okay,
kind of over this area ish.
okay,
But
okay. I got you. So,
um,
working with
yeah,
what you
that's
got,
about
though.
all I got.
But how has the offseason been though? For real, there's been a lot of announcements. You won the award for most improved player, which was awesome. What's it been like from your perspective?
It's just been not the typical off season. Sorry, my throat is doing something, but it's been not the typical off season. Usually off seasons are more kind of relaxed. You're
Yeah.
chilling out, recovering from the season. Mine has been not so much. Kind of still been go go go. I got a lot of things on my plate right now, or I had a lot of things on my plate. Everything's
Hmm.
kind of settling down now, but it feels like the year just ended, and now in a month or so, we're getting right back out there.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. I saw Eagle post yesterday his tournament schedule, and I hadn't really thought about the All Star week a ton. And then I noticed it's before the disc golf con, so it's like the
Right.
All Star weekend is in like 4 weeks. Are
Yeah.
you planning on making moves at that point?
Um. Yeah, I'll be spending a little time down in Florida with Eric and Tina Oakley. So
Mm, okay.
we'll be down there, and then we'll make the drive out west. So
Well,
hopefully getting some good weather in soon.
yeah, at least get some reps. Shoot, I mean it's a long season, but coming out to Vegas early, you're going to be blasting it for an entire weekend. So at least get the arm
Right.
loose. I
Right.
want to talk to you a little bit about the headline that just went out. It's been a bit DD centric over the past 4 or 5 days, just with all the announcements and the
Yeah.
videos coming
Uh-huh.
out. But what came out, I believe, 2 days ago, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you were promoted to the same team as Eagle and Simon. What does that feel? I mean, you're young, you're fresh to the scene, but you're right there with them.
Yeah, I mean, when I found out what Discmania was and who Simon Lizotte and Eagle McMahon were back in 2015 or 14, I don't remember the exact year.
Hmm.
Um, I figured out, hey, they're on like this top team at this company, and that would be really cool to kind of like go join them because like they're the people I looked after for countless years growing up playing,
Yeah.
and making it to the beginning of 2021. I saw that no one else still had joined that team. It's just them two still, and I said, I don't think there's any reason why I can't be on there. So that was one of my goals going into the year, like prove myself I can be on that team, and then came out of this year, played well enough, and uh, made the jump up.
Yeah. So, I mean, talk to me outside of just the personal satisfaction of like meeting a goal that you set for yourself, which is huge. And that's, maybe worth more than any contract talks. But what is it about jumping from the second tier team up to that top tier team? Like, what is the difference? Is it, we've been seeing a lot of players getting like their own lines of discs. I know you had the Origin. Like, outside of maybe an increased salary month to month, like, what does that new contract look like?
For me, I'm not exactly sure. We're still kind of in the process of working things out right now, but
Hmm.
it's just kind of like increased everything. Everything's kind of bumped up a little bit, and then there's like more promotional stuff,
Hmm.
like, and then like I guess more apparel, clothing. I That's pretty much. It's just kind of everything takes a little bump up.
Sure. And that's actually what I was going to ask you about next, specifically was the apparel. Last year, when I think about the year, one of the tournaments that stands out is Discraft Great Lakes Open, you and Eagle having that
Hmm.
battle down to the stretch. And the quote that sticks out from after that is Eagle saying, "You're going to have to get your own shirt if you want to take me down."
Oh man.
Talk to me. Are we getting a Kyle shirt? Please tell me there's going to be a Kyle line of shirts.
I can't say anything. I don't think I can say anything, but I'd just say keep an eye out, I guess,
Okay.
at some point.
Hmm.
But funny story that I haven't really publicized yet about that tournament is that the only reason I was wearing those shirts is that my house is only like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from
Hmm.
there. And I got to the tournament where I'm staying for the weekend and I realized I forgot all my polos. All my tournament shirts were at home. The only thing I brought
No.
were t-shirts. So these are those like these are the only this is the only clean shirt I have for the final day, and I'm like, I know this is gonna come up. Like I knew this something like this was gonna happen,
Yep.
but I'm like, all right, whatever.
Ah,
But
I love it.
yeah, I just found it funny. I'm like, that's the only clean shirt I had, so I'm like, that's all I got.
It's incredibly disc golf of a story too, right? It's like, oh shoot, I only have one clean shirt and I'm going to be on in front of thousands of people. No.
Oh.
Have you so just to clarify for the people, is there was like in that moment a 50-50, and we'll get back to the contracts and stuff. There was a moment where like people were like 50-50 that Eagles kind of giving you grief and Eagles trying to build you up. What's your and Eagles relationship, now?
We're friendly to each other. I mean, I wouldn't say we're like friends that we know a bunch about each other, but
Hmm.
I mean, we've stayed in a couple Airbnbs together, so we're friendly. I'd say
Okay, okay.
there's no little grudge or anything against us between us, but yeah, we're pretty friendly towards each other.
Beautiful. Let's talk about signature discs a little bit because that's one of the things that Discmania does so well is they really brand discs around their players and do a good job
Hmm.
of promoting that. You had the Origin come out last
Hmm.
year, I believe in the Meta plastic. Is there should we expect any more signature series Kyle Klein discs?
In the future, I would hope so. I would for sure hope so, but
Hmm.
as of right now, I can say yeah.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what they'll be, but I would say so. Yes.
Beautiful. And so about the Origin specifically, because it's really an interesting signature disc relative to what a lot of the other players have, right? You think of
Hmm.
the DD3 for most players, very overstable. James with his Volt is an overstable fairway driver, a destroyer, overstable disc. Most pros, their signature discs are overstable workhorses for them in their bag. You
Hmm.
have an Origin, which traditionally not really too overstable. In fact, more of a flip driver, or like hybrid almost.
Yeah.
What went into you getting that disc? Did they just assign it to you, or do you really love it?
Um. So I pretty much decided that that was going to be the disc I wanted in December, January of last year.
Oh wow.
And that disc really got the wide release in October during the Pro
Hmm.
Tour Championships. And I first threw that disc during that tournament. And pretty much after I threw it for the first day or two, I was like, I want this. This disc is what I want for my signature disc because it's
Hmm.
probably the farthest flying, most controllable mid range
Yeah.
I might have ever thrown.
Wow. And
So
that's saying something.
yeah, it's like I throw it 75% and it goes as far as I throw some of my MD3s on like a 90% shot. Because it
Okay.
just has
Wow.
that super high glide rating and
Hmm.
it's just a little bit of hyzer, flip to flat, and it just goes. So I knew that would be a popular disc for all skill levels. And like if you can see like a top, I'm not gonna put myself top power player because I don't think I'm quite there yet. But if you can see like one of the top players in the world throwing this disc, I feel like anybody could. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a little bit of the marketing side for me is that it would be popular for everybody.
Yeah, no question. And I think a lot of 99.9% of disc golfers don't have the arm speed to be throwing a big PD2 or a huge
Right.
overstable thing. So
Right.
I think it's actually quite smart to get an approachable disc for all skill levels. Is so. I interviewed Kevin Jones. He teased that there are 2 discs coming out for Prodigy that are kind of borrowing the naming scheme from a Discmania, where they kind of like have a number letter and then have a name that goes along with it. Is there How do you like that? Like, if would you prefer to be throwing the MD3, or would you prefer to be throwing the whatever the name has? Like, what do you like the naming convention of discs to be?
I think I like the letter number system a little more, pretty much because I mean I've grown up on that, and then I
Mm-hmm.
mean Innova, so
Yeah, fair
I've
point.
grown up with both. But I just think it's a little easier to keep track of. Um, with Innova, there's just so many molds that I feel
Yeah.
like people kind of get lost in the names and the
Mm-hmm.
however many discs there are. But I think I like the letter number system. It keeps it simple, easy to keep
Beautiful.
track of.
Yeah. Are so one last thing on the new contract. I just want to kind of go back in time and talk about the timeline of when it all came together, because specifically that midsection of the year last year, the Midwest, Deglow, Preserve, Ledgestone, Idlewild is where you put your foot down and really earned that Most Improved Player award for this past
Mm-hmm.
season. Was it then that you started to think, okay, I'm going to end up on this top team? And if not, when did the talks even start?
I think after my win at Idlewild, it was creeping in my head a little bit that I could, but I knew that one win on the Pro Tour, I think at least one win in one, yeah, pretty much one win. I don't think that's quite enough to do it because it's not so much all about your play. It's kind of a mix of play, representability,
Mm-hmm.
marketability, and then it's kind of all three of those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I knew that wasn't gonna. I don't think that was gonna be enough too. So I knew I had to keep pressing, and then I got to the Northeast Swing, Maple Hill, and Green Mountain Championship, and I kind of let myself down a little bit up there. I mean, I think I averaged, I don't know, 35th place or something at those
Mm-hmm.
two tournaments. It was not
Yeah.
good. So, that wasn't a good look. So I knew going into the final two, I could make a push to really show them I could make it. And then second place at USDGC almost took that down, and then almost made it to the finals of the Pro Tour Championship. So I think I ended the year on a great note, and I think that put that in their head that I think he's worth it. So
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much
yeah,
all off season. Like, once the season wrapped up, that's when you started to have talks with UC.
um, yeah, a little bit, and it wasn't even so much talks with you. I just got a phone call that said, "Hey, great job this season. I just want to let you know first and foremost, we're gonna promote you to Sky Team."
Oh,
And
okay.
so that was pretty much it. I mean, there was no real conversations. It was just kind of one
What
phone
UC
call. So
says, UC go. What happens?
right,
Yeah, what UC says happens. That's just how it goes.
right.
Well, congrats for real. Like,
Thank you.
it's. Was it a goal to be most improved? Like, was it a shock when you found out those awards were going to exist? Like, is that something that you were gunning for?
A little bit. It was a little bit, but I saw the most improved player, and I was in my mind. I'm like, I don't think I'll get that. I think I established myself a little too much to be most improved. But
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, I feel like Gannon could win two of those three awards with the Rookie of the Year and Most
Yeah.
Improved. I would have voted for him in Most
Mm-hmm.
Improved. But yeah, and I saw the midway update that I was like in the lead, like
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the voting. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. But yeah, so it was a little bit of a shock. But yeah, I'm very happy and very honored to have received that award.
Yep. Well, in all candor, now that the awards are out, we can kind of talk about who we did vote for. I did put you number 1 spot for the most improved player.
Aw.
I know. I just, for me, I think what it comes down to is, in the disc golf world, we really care about wins. We care about who's first, who's second, who's in the mix to win. Gannon, his rating might have gone up like more points or something throughout the year, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, the most improved player was someone who took the leap from in contention in the mixed solid to legitimately winning an event. So I think that that's what a lot of people,
I see.
what their mindset was when they chose,
Yeah.
most improved. It wasn't like 1,000 rated guy that went to 1030, 1020. It was the 1020 who went to 1032 with a win or whatever, whatever your
Right.
rating ended up as.
Yeah.
Um, Rookie of the year. I just want to get your take because I'm curious about all these different pros takes. Juliana Korver won it on the FPO side.
Uh-huh.
What is your thoughts, opinions when you saw that, and even now, like after maybe some reasoning has gone out behind it?
I don't think there's a problem with it personally. I think it's completely fair. I mean, this is her first year touring, and I forget the number of years, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like her first year playing in like this day and age of disc golf on the women's side, and it was completely different than
Yeah.
I don't know how many years ago it was, but all the people saying she's a 5-time world champion, she shouldn't get this. I'm like, she's never played a disc golf pro tour event before.
Yeah.
This is her first year, and I think it's completely fair.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same
That's just
page.
my take. So
Yeah, and really they had the same. It was, yeah. I'm on the same page. Like first time touring in this modern era, I think is fair. And the fact that Ella won the PDGA Rookie of the Year,
hmm
at least she gets some credit because that's probably who would have won it if it wasn't for Juliana. But I want to talk about another rookie. Oh gosh, she could be in her. This could have been her second year. I don't know. Cynthia, someone that you've
hmm
been touring with for this
yes,
past year, the full year, correct?
yes, correct.
So talk to me about touring with, you guys post on Instagram. I'm not blowing you up or anything. Talk about touring with your partner and what that experience was like, over the full year.
Yeah, it's after the last year, after 2020, I was touring by myself, and I kind of during that time I was like, dang, I wish I this is a little more fun with somebody because
Mm-hmm.
I toured with somebody for 1 or 2 weekends last year, but I knew it was definitely a lot more fun to tour with someone, and then we hopped in the car together and toured this year, so um, it was a great experience. I loved it.
Could you highlight maybe a downside to, because I mean, let's be honest, like spending all day, every day within 6 feet of your partner can be a lot. I am sure that there was moments where it was probably tougher than maybe if it's just yourself getting through some stuff. Was there any moments that like was a struggle, but you're happy you went through it?
I mean, not. I mean, we didn't really encounter them. I'm sure they're out there, but personally, we didn't really go. Nothing really
That's
came
great.
up. So yeah, it was the only real time I could say maybe it'd be better traveling solo was um, so I had my minivan, my blue Honda Odyssey. The transmission like died in that thing, so I had to buy a new car halfway through the year. So it was a little Ford sedan, so there wasn't too much room in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, two people's stuff is it's a little too much in this car. So that's maybe the only possible reason
Sure.
traveling by yourself would be a better thing. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I mean, I love traveling with her. It's great.
Yeah, yeah, and kudos, man. It really, it's a good fit. I think. Stoked to see you guys two together. I say so. For from my perspective, my situation would be that my girlfriend doesn't like to drive and eat at the same time, and like
Mm,
I don't know your experience, but like being a touring person, that's critical. Like stopping real quick, getting food, and then hitting the road again, and kind of like
right.
munching while
Yep.
you drive.
hmm
So like that would be a
hmm
game killer for me. I don't know that we could ever tour together just because it would be so slow.
So like she doesn't like to eat in the car. You have to like you're like I want to just keep going. She's like no, we have to stop in and
Yeah.
wait
Oh
this
yeah.
out.
And we're like hanging in the parking lot for 30 minutes after. I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to get there. I
Like
love you, babe, but come on.
yeah, right, all right.
Well, let's talk about next year's tour specifically a little bit. You said you had the Honda Odyssey, blue minivan, beautiful thing. R.I.P. It's gone. You got the
Oh
sedan.
man.
My
Yep.
guess is that that will not be your tour vehicle for this season. Could you talk about plans? Is there a van that seems to be the play? Like, what's your plans for next year?
Um, I can confidently say that Ford sedan will not be. I can say that. That's all I can
Good.
say.
Okay, okay. Um, I'm hoping to see some sort of wrapped Kyle Klein logoed thing out there at tournaments soon. But if you can't comment, you can't comment.
Yeah.
But next season specifically, though, you were the most improved last year. Is there any goals that you have for yourself? Like, are you like, I'm going to win most improved again? Like, I don't know how it's possible, but I'm going to do it. Like, what are your goals for next year?
I think, I mean, just my main goal is to kind of don't let myself perform worse than I did the year prior. So that's kind of my goal going into pretty much every tournament is perform better than I did the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do that, I mean, I should pick up a couple of wins, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's my goal, is to win more than one.
Are you on the full tour? Is there any events that you're skipping? I saw Eagles not doing any of the Texas swing. There's some people who are skipping a few events. Are you?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
I'm planning on doing pretty much all of it. I think all the Elite Series events, all the majors, including Europe. I'm hoping
Yeah.
to get over to Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I think the only ones I'm really missing are a couple of the Silver Series, at least the ones that don't geographically make sense.
Sure.
Like one of the Tallahassee, that one's kind of
Yeah.
weird out of the way. Like you're up here and you got to go all the way down here to go all the way
Just for a
back
Silver
up.
Series.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, that one, and then I think there's a few other ones that at least time and they don't work in a timely manner, especially in geographically. So,
Well, and I think overall the tour, like from the Disc Golf Pro Tour standpoint, I think they would like to make the big events appealing to the top pros and make the Silver Series a little bit more applicable for regional pros to get experience and earn points to get onto the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So
right.
I think more and more you're probably going to see that, where Silver Series don't necessarily match up with the tour. I think it's for a good thing, man. I don't think you guys really need to be playing more than 16 to 24 events in a year, like for your bodies. You guys are like chugging hard.
Don't tell me that I played 30 last year.
Did you play 30? Was that was that the most events you'd ever played in a season?
Oh yeah, by far.
Okay. Then the obvious follow-up question: how's your body? I mean, you've had some weeks to rest now, but like, were you gassed at the end of the year, and how are you feeling coming into this season?
I was definitely a little bit tired. I'm just ready for this to be over. I can relax.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've relaxed too hard, and I haven't played in 3 weeks.
Oh no, Kyle.
I mean, yeah, we were down in Texas for one of my buddy's weddings, and that's the last time we played. I mean, what was it? December.
Oh wow.
19th. I think December 19th was the last time I played a round.
Oh gosh, that's tragic.
Now I'm definitely itching to get back out there, but I can't with a foot and a half of snow.
Yeah, dang, we need to get you out here to the West Coast, man. I'll tell you what, it's been beautiful. I've got a tournament this weekend, actually.
Ooh.
I know.
Exciting.
On a golf course. Definitely my specialty. Kyle, really, like, I appreciate your time doing this. I don't have a ton more for the interview, but I want to give you a chance to give any shout outs, plug your social media, thank anybody you want. The floor is yours.
Yeah. All my sponsors I've been sponsored by for years. I mean, Great Lakes Disc. I mean, newly sponsored this year, Whale Sacks, Wolfpack Disc, Discmania, Grippy Q. Just they're out there allowing me to do what I love to do, and I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah. So shouts to all those sponsors again. Appreciate everyone who has supported Kyle. It's always a blast out there to see you throwing discs, man. I can't wait to see so many more battles in the future. Folks, that's about all I have for this interview. If you'd like coverage of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Definitely go do that.